Well, good to have you again, and many thanks for sticking around to those who have been with us from the start of our business this side, or for those who have been with us from the start of the show, 6:30. We started with the news recap. And now back to our topic of discussion, personal debt management. My guest is Ronald Samuel Wanda. Now, Ronald is actually coming in from the Masiko, Wanda and Arinda Advocates. So big in commercial law discussions as well is what we're having here this morning. Ronald, let's talk about the level of acquiring these loans. A business, which is the better option? Okay, they're all options, really. The others, they are better depending, but which would be the better options? We have money lenders that are strictly money lenders, and that is their business, their sort of business, lending out money. Then we have SACCOs. These are saving groups and cooperatives where people go out there and, and they have less interests, by the way, but most SACCOs are limited to the amount of money they lend. Then we have, at times you have to be a member. Then we also have banks, commercial banks, and then we also have microfinance institutions. Which would be the better option, and under what capacity would the business go in for which?
One, it would, as you've indicated, there are several options where to get cash from.
Yes.
But as looking at the options, you need to look at how much do I need, for how long, and in what period do I need it.
Yes.
We talked about emergency loans. You won't get an emergency loan from a bank. True. Yes. Because a bank has its own procedure.
When you're filing for this loan.
Yes. So the purpose, the term, which is the period within which you want to pay the loan, the amount, are some of the considerations that you should make while deciding where to go for a loan from. They all have their pros and cons. For example, money lenders, they are quick to give money. If you want money within 24 hours,
you can get it from a money lender.
You can get it from a money lender, no matter the amount. I've seen money lenders giving up to 150 million shillings. Yes, in the shortest time possible. So they will give as long as you have the security that they believe they can take for that amount of money. SACCOs, even them, their turnaround time is not long because the procedure they take to approve loans is not a long one, and also because majorly they deal with people who are within the SACCOs. And to me, if your SACCO can give you the money you want, if you're part of a SACCO and they can give you the money you want, go for that money in the SACCO. Do not go to any other source of funding if it's a debt funding. SACCOs have less interest rates. Chances are high your savings may be your security. They don't ask you for further security.
Okay.
Yes. Unless if your savings are very low compared to what you're taking. But most SACCOs say, if you've saved this much, we can give you up to 50% in terms of a loan. You don't need security.
Sure thing.
But even when you need security, a SACCO would be the last institution to liquidate your security, to get money out of it.
Okay.
They will give you so much options for you to repay the loan. And also, the fact that you've taken a loan doesn't mean you stop saving with a SACCO. So there is continuous savings. So they can see that this person, yes, they may be defaulting on
but at
payments,
least they're still compliant to the SACCO's regulations.
But we still have their money here.
Okay.
So it means we can, anytime we fail to completely recover from them,
we're getting from their savings.
We have where to recover from immediately. Then banks. Of course, they are the biggest lenders. What makes them the biggest lenders is that they have the finances. They can...
even the capacity, they really do have that.
They have the capacity. Even if the much you want, they don't have it as an institution,
they can still get
or
it from
it's surpassing their lending capacity, they can still get it. We call them syndicate loans. Stand chart. If you want 10 million US dollars, and for us, we feel as a Ugandan entity, we cannot give you that money. We shall talk to our colleagues in South Africa, in Nairobi, and we pull that money together, and we shall give it to you as a group. Yeah. So the banks have that leverage. Their procedure is quite a lengthy one, because I think when you apply for a loan, you can get after a month. So now that takes back to what is the purpose
of you getting that loan initially?
Is it urgent? If it's urgent, the bank is not your place to go. Then banks also give, I think, the best time frame to pay a loan. You can get a loan in the bank and it's a 7-year term, it's a 10-year term. That's not a loan you're going to get from any other institution, whether from a money lender, whether from a SACCO. They are all looking at short term. I think the best money lenders do is 1 year. I'm giving my money, pay it back in 1 year. Yes. So now it goes back to the term, the amount, the purpose. Also, your termly payments. We've talked about friends, money lenders, SACCOs, microfinance institutions, and banks. The longer the term of the loan payment, the easier it is for you to pay.
Okay.
For as long as you're disciplined.
As long as you don't stay negligent of the fact that it's long, let me relax.
Yes. Because if someone is giving you 100 million shillings and you're paying it in a span of 5 years, you're paying 20 million shillings per year. It means you're paying about 1 point something per month. If someone gives you 100 million shillings and you're paying it in a year, it means every month you're paying about 10 or close to 10, thereabout. So banks give the longest period, but it's because most of their loans are secured loans. They go ahead and insure these loans in the event of an eventuality may happen.
Okay.
Yes.
There is something I wanted to really ask. What are some of the most used? What are some of the most highlighted priorities when getting, rather collaterals when getting these loans? I want to see what are the most realistic collaterals while going for a loan, because I've had most of the times people are losing land titles. I haven't got a loan of a huge capacity. The only loans I get personally are from friends and the SACCOs under which I belong to, because I know in the long run with my savings I'll still clear. And then for my friends, it's a friendly loan. I'll pay back in due time. What normally happens when people go in for these loans, business-wise, first, is what are some of those key collateral, priorities that are looked at?
If I'm on the side of the lender,
okay,
yeah, I would want collateral which does not depreciate.
Whose value is only increasing.
Whose value is only increasing. Because at the time I'm giving you the loan, I'm basing on the first sale value of the property. We do evaluation. This is title. Market value, 200 million. First sale value, 120. So I can only give you a loan of up to 120 million shillings. But why am I giving you on that property? Is because I know I can realize from it. Now, when you default, there are other charges. There are interests, there are penalties which are accruing. Me to realize from your property, I will incur expenses. Probably have to go to court. I'm hiring a valuer to revalue the land. In court, I've paid a lawyer to get me the order for sale. When it comes to selling, I'm hiring an auctioneer to do for me the sale. So there are costs involved around that. So, and all these costs should be borne by that property. You gave me a security. So that's why I'm giving you at the first sale value. Chances are, by the time you're defaulting, probably after a year or 2 years, the property value has gone up. Even its first sale value has gone up. So I can recover my money. I can recover the cost incidental to recovering the money. For short-term loans, I've seen other securities are being accepted.
Okay.
Motor vehicle, logbooks. I know others, money lenders, if it's a short-term, a week, 2 weeks, I've seen advertising saying laptop, smart TV,
yes,
and everything. So those are short-term because you know a laptop today, after 1 week, the value is almost the same. A car today, after 1 year, the value may have gone down,
yes,
but not so much down. You can still realize from it. But also, if you're giving out a loan on such a collateral, then you have to look at so many other things.
Especially with these tangible assets.
The tangible assets. It can get, okay, of course, for things like laptops, those ones, they ask you to bring them to their premises.
Yes.
But if it's a car, and you're not asking the borrower to park it at your premises, they are driving it, it's wear and tear, it can get lost, it can be involved in an accident. So your collateral will be no more at one point.
Yeah, sure.
So what happens in that? You may need to have this also give you personal guarantors. Yes, I'm taking your car's security.
Yeah.
But look, can I have 2 guarantors that in the event of default, this people can be in position to pay?
Very true.
So now you as a person, do you have people who can guarantee you? That's the other question you have to ask yourself.
These are people who will support you throughout, eh?
Yes.
It's more like a next of kin when you're opening up an account.
They're your next of kin. If you want a loan and it's okay, call you and say, John, I need money, but this person wants a guarantor. Do you have that person who say, it's okay, where are they? I go and sign for you. It goes back to relationships you create with friends. Have you borrowed money from friends before and paid them back?
Okay.
Because if I know you borrowed money from a friend and you've paid back, so I trust that you can pay back your money. Or if I know your spending habits. Because what makes us fail to pay our debts is our spending habits. We spend more than what we are supposed to spend or what we can afford.
Okay.
So even in that, you even get a loan to go and spend.
But you see, there's always a bigger concern here. How we pay off or how we clear off our loans. At times you realize there's a reason as to why most people deliberately fail to pay these loans. At times it becomes really, stressing to them, and they feel like, no, let me just run away with, a kind of situation. Where does this leave the money lender? And how do we deal with such individuals? This is now, again, from the law perspective. You have someone who has, you gave out a loan, and they've deliberately failed to pay the loan. Either way, maybe they're in a bigger position than you are, but then in the long run, they feel they have that capacity of not, clearing their loans because you won't do anything about it. How do we deal with such clients?
I said earlier, once you take a loan, there's only one choice.
Clearing it afterwards.
Clearing it. It doesn't matter how long it will take. You'll pay back that loan. Of course, if it was a loan without security, it's cumbersome to recover it. Because even if you take this person to court at the end of the day,
yes,
you would have again to look, after getting a judgment in your favor, you would again have to look for what do they have for me to attach and recover. But if it's a secured loan, you liquidate the security. Even if they make it hard for you to liquidate their security, because there may be property which you cannot liquidate. Someone has taken money, they don't want to pay it. Property, you go to court, you even have a court judgment, but whoever wants to buy that property, they go there, they will find the property is guarded by armed people. No one would want to go into such a transaction. Things change. The person may be big today, tomorrow they may not be big. Yes. Or even their other superiors may pretend over them and say, look, this is not right. Withdraw whatever they are using to make it hard for you to recover, and you'll eventually recover. So to me, what I can tell to a borrower is, once you have a loan, the best option is to pay it back. I mean, there are very many avenues. Even if you're finding difficulties in paying, you can go back to a bank. You can go back to a money lender and say, look, I thought I would do this by this time. It has failed. How best do we rearrange this facility?
Sure thing.
Banks are happy to rearrange for as long as you have valid reasons. I mean, you could have taken a business loan and indeed you injected the money in a business and it failed. People who do farming, you will do farming and it fails. So all your capital has gone there and it has failed. So you paying it back will be a problem because your intention was from the produce I'll pay back the loan. So you go back to the institution and try and negotiate your way out.
Okay.
So I was supposed to pay probably $1 million per month. I can't. But I can do 500 per month.
Yeah.
You rearrange it. If they want to add on another interest, they will add it on. If you say, okay, pay this and we move on. The other is, if you can, in your monthly installments, and you have more than what you're supposed to pay for this month, it doesn't hurt to drop it there.
Okay. Ronald, what would be your recommendations in regards to personal debt management as we are bidding up with this discussion?
My recommendations, one is to manage your debt well, is that do not go for debt to finance your lifestyle.
Okay.
Live within your means. Get money for a purpose and spend it on that purpose. And that purpose should be beneficial, where if you're injecting in money, there should be an expectation of a return in terms of profits. You may not get the profits because not every business you will do will get your profits due to so many factors. You may have gotten a loan, probably there was no tax on that particular property, good, you're importing it, and by the time it's arriving at customs, they have introduced a new tax on it. So it means your calculations will go backwards. You may not get the profit you wanted to get from that good, but at least you have the good. So it means you can sell it and you're in a position to clear something. So whatever amount you're getting for an expenditure in terms of debt, it should be money or an expectation of a return on it. That if I spend on this, I'll get this interest or profit. Try as much as possible not to overburden yourself with debt. Do not get a loan to pay a loan. You've gotten this loan, you've spent it without investing it, time for payment has come, you run to another lender to get a loan to clear this loan. Then it means your life now is revolving around the debt. You can never be debt free. And being there when you're not debt free is a challenge itself, because you can never make money for yourself. That means your life is revolving around that. But even when you get some small money, you fear to invest it because there is a debt on your neck.
Okay.
Yes. So those are things we should be looking out while doing debt financing.
Well, right. And of course, you've heard it from Ronald Wanda as we have been discussing personal debt management. Big discussions in here is coming in from the Wanda, Masiko and Arinda advocates. Of course, we've been rotating around a lot more to do with how you as a business individual can definitely maintain or manage this loan that you've actually taken. How do you service it, by the way? And then how do you avoid of going overboard in regards to the loans that you access in regards to finance either a lifestyle or to add capital or to work as capital, additional capital to your business. At times we end up losing out. But then also there's always law that protects you during a time when the money lender seems to play schemy games in order to take over your collateral. big conversations that we've been having here. This is a big topic that really needs a wide understanding of the scope, but of course it goes back to the realistic approach of how you as an individual who has taken a loan or who is currently being stressed out with a loan that you took for your business, how you will definitely live with it, or how you can definitely work upon solving that particular issue that is stressing you out. I'm Jerome Paul Songo. I've been with Andrew Barige in the morning before we're later on joined by Robert Ronald Wanda. Oh God. And of course, our conversations were into the business inside, trying to understand managing debt in a personal perspective or in the business perspective. But as we're signing out, remember to download the Smart Digital app. Of course, that is on the Google Play Store and the iOS. And remember, after downloading it, you can easily stream Smart 24 television anytime, anywhere. Listen to radio, that is Smart FM and NBS Cordeo. But also remember, with our website, www.smart24.tv/news, you can get real-time business updates, both local and international. And then to the business community, those in need of investment plans, *292# is the USSD code that you can use to kickstart off your investment with the Zabo platform. Zabo is a platform that is powered by Alltech East Africa, and it's giving you that advantage to kickstart off your investment journey today. How possible is that? When you use the USSD code, you can be able to kickstart off your investment in the next 24 hours. The minimum amount of money that you need is to use 15,000 Ugandan shillings, and that is how best you can get going with Zabo. Zabo, my money, my future. Alltech East Africa, do something new. We have 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Coming up is Financial Markets with Anthony Sebali. Stick around. Good morning and